and so and it's interesting you said about watching TV, and it says, or to educate ourselves, or the reliance on corporate-owned mass media that does not present the information in all its broadcast implications, i.e., J. Lieberling once said, freedom of the press is for those who own the presses and the radio stations. And also, in so many words, they say we are in a society that gives you a sanitized Disney view of America. And so it's a form of mind control. And in this book, he breaks it down, but this is the book that takes it all the way into the occult and what they are behind. Now, which gives us this. I was talking to Walter Williams. That's the brother who wrote the book, Historical Origins of Christianity. He got a new one out called Historical Origins of Islam. And I know he knows what he's talking about because I got a lot of the books. And if you get any of the books from the turn of the century in the 1800s, they never say the word Islam. They say Mohammedism. He goes on to say that Islam was created by the Jews in the late 1800s. The word Islam. The people never call it Islam, they call it Mohammedism. And in so many words now, and I know what he's talking about because his thing here is that Islam itself is an invention by the Jewish state. Now I know he knows what he's talking about because there's also too. Albert Churchward in his book Evolution Origin of Christianity, when they go on the aspect of Islam, he said that Muhammad or whatever this person was used to hang out with a bunch of Jews. And as a result, this is what created this. Now I want to show you what's going on here. If you are some Hebrews and you want your religion to have legitimacy, knowing there's ancient Kemet, ancient India, ancient Samaria, which is also Northeast Africa, because all these are new names, Samaria, Chaldea, Babylon, and all that shit is names to cover up the fact that it's Northeast Africa. You see, when they went to war in Babylon, so you got to think for a minute now. They actually went to war in a portion of Africa that hadn't been excavated. There's 1,000 dig sites in Iraq since the war. And they give you that fake shit and blowing up everything and all this, and they over there digging up the thing and then emptied out the whole museum, trying to save themselves. That's what this shit was ultimately about. You see what I'm saying? What's that? Blade Trinity. They went to the Dracula that it was trying to find, who was supposed to be the most powerful bloodline. They dug up his thing in Iraq. In Iraq. One of the goddess that was supposed to one of the goddess that they were trying to find is the goddess Ishtar from Babylon, which Babylon now is Iraq. They were looking for Ishtar. Now, this is the most beautiful thing about it is, Ishtar did show up, but she didn't show up in Iraq. She showed up in America on May 15th, 2003. That's when the Matrix, the second Matrix, Matrix Reloaded came out. 7 deities came out. 7 Hathors. It's called 7 Hathors or 7 Ishtars. But they came with new names. And her new name was Ishtar. I-S-H-T-A-H. Ishtar, Monu, Noku, Mana, Enmatu, Titi, and Joba. These are 7 primal African deities or ancient deities that came back to the planet, and they was over there trying to dig up some stuff to tap into her energy, and we got the shit over here. 7 Ishtars, 7 Hathors. So now, that's Northeast Africa. You got to get out of these names. Samaria, Babylonian. They talk about this cuneiform text that's supposed to be older than Metanetta. Bullshit. Come to find out, I was talking to Walter Williams. Walter Williams said that he's been studying, and they said that they created that shit at the University of Chicago. Because how it is, they're getting the whole history off of some little clay tablets. You can't get the whole history of Kemet in massive buildings. And they're getting the whole history of Samaria and all the mythology on some little clay tablets. They say they created that shit. They created them tablets right at the University of Chicago in last century, the 20th century. But anyway, let's say you Hebrew and you want your shit to stand. It stands the reason that you got to get other cultures to give you their brand of Hebrewism. So, Babylon, Mecca, and all that later on, especially Mecca and Saudi Arabia, which is Northeast Africa, the Jews come up with this Islam, and then later on the Christians come up with Christianity, and the Jews is laughing because the first books of the Quran and the first books of the Bible is all goddamn the Old Testament. Now come on now, let's not be stupid with this mess. You can't have the angel Gabriel to come to visit Muhammad and he happened to be a damn Hebrew. Ain't that a bitch? You know what I'm saying? And Jesus just so happened to be a Jew. It's all Jewish conspiracy. You see what I'm saying? If the Quran has never been revealed and it's the most holy book, why it's got the first 5 books of Moses? If the Bible is so holy, why it's got the first 5 books of Moses? And we don't supposed to go by the Old Testament. Wait a minute, this is an oxymoron. You got a fucking Bible that you tell everybody who ain't a Christian they need to go by the fucking Bible. But yet in your Bible you don't supposed to go by the first 5 books in it. That's ignorant. If we don't supposed to go by the Old Testament. Wait a minute, hold on. The first 5 books of your Bible is the foundation of your book. How the fuck you not gonna? That means your book is falsehood, because the Old Testament is your fucking Bible. See this conspiracy? So I was talking to Walter Williams, and he made mention, which is something I do know, that the Greeks and the Romans and all them, they had languages, which they inherited from the black people, the Minoans in Greece and the Etruscans in Rome, and these people, and they later ain't no Europeans that came in who couldn't talk and learn the language. And then when they went into Kemet, and he said the same thing, because I did know, because I put it on some of my tapes, that the Egyptians took 100 years to translate Metanetta into Greek, Latin, Coptic, and even some Hebrew stuff at the Temple of Isis, at Temple of Denver, Temple of Isis, the Temple of Esna, the Temple of Komombo. It took them 100 years to translate these things into these texts, because they knew that their religion, they knew that Metanetta was going to fall in the ruins and then people wouldn't learn it for 1,000 years.